Welcome everyone to another episode of Into the Pit. I'm very pleased to have Miss Carol Starr here with me today, and we are going to get to know her and about her abilities. And first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I am an astrologer, and also have a lot of empathic feelings that I work with, and also I'm psychic. But my psychic is not about names, dates, and places. It's about reading people and knowing what's going to happen to them by their voices and how they talk.
Oh,
So that's what I use. And in my history, I had a syndicated column. I had my own TV show, my own radio show, and I was also an entertainer, and I had fun with astrology. So I was booked as a comedian. So I may get funny today. Is that okay?
that's fine. Everybody could use a little smile, right?
And I've been doing this for over 30 years. And I have done over probably 10,000 astrology readings. And now I work for a couple of companies. One of them is called thrills.co.uk, where I do readings from people all over the world.
Oh, wow.
And I am on a company called Everclear, where I do psychic readings on the phone or by texting. And I have a few more other companies that I do some stuff for that I'm starting with. So that just helps me. I don't have to worry about collecting the money.
Gotcha.
And it is also, it gives me a platform, a place to work, which is worked out super well. And that's the basics of who I am.
So you said you do readings by text?
Yeah, well, these are when people call up with problems.
Mhm.
Sometimes they don't want to talk on the phone, so we chat text-wise.
Huh. Yeah.
I know, it's a lot of people prefer not to talk, and a lot of them are often at work or somewhere where they can't talk.
Wow.
But they need some help right away, and I do try to help them. Yes.
I mean, personally, I would be kind of reluctant to do it by text. I mean, at least if I'm talking to you, I've got a voice on the other end, but I prefer where I could at least see you in the face, though. That's just me.
Right. Yeah. No, but I was surprised too, honestly,
Mhm.
and I can't tell you how popular it is. In some ways it's easier, in some ways it's not easier. It takes longer, and I warned people, I said, this is going to take longer and it'll cost you more. And if we talk, we can get it through a lot faster, and I can get to the point. But they want to text away, so that's the way they want to do it. Yeah.
I guess to each his own, huh?
Yeah. So
Well, you're gonna make your money anyways.
right, that's right. That's right. We all have to pay our bills, don't we?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
So you do astrology too, huh?
Well, astrology is the main thing I do. And what I found today, I will share this with you, is that over the years, my general audience is 40 and over, mostly women. Okay. Now it's 30 and under, and the teens, all the kids, they know the basics of astrology as well as I do. I mean, the basics. They don't know how to read a chart.
Right.
And they'll write. I'm on TikTok. I'm considered an influencer on TikTok. I do. And yeah, I know that would impress you. That's why I told you that, but these kids today, honestly, I will tell you, they are suffering. I've got so many problems besides relationships and finances and careers. They're stuck. And I get when I doing a chart, the first thing they'll tell me, help me get unstuck. They are feeling just hopeless, a lot of them. And and I always tell them when I do a video, I don't say it all the time, if you want an astrology reading, do not order one online, because you're going to get things that are going to upset you or elate you, and that have nothing to do with what the real chart is. Because I'm reading you, not just a paper with stuff. And here's one. This is what a chart looks like. Can you see that? Okay.
Okay. Kind of see it.
Okay. And I read that. I read the planets and everything, but I put it with the person. I mean, like we talked about, you're a Libra, and you have a name, Kevin, correct?
Well, my name's Kyle. Kevin's my producer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. You're still with the K. That's good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Kyle. And you are a person. You're not just a bunch of this, but to duplicate your reading would take 25,000 years. You are unique in astrology. You're not just a Libra. You're not just this. You're not that. You're a sum total of your entire chart. And if you were born 5 minutes later, you could have a totally different chart.
Really?
Yeah. So it is unique. And, it's one of these things that people love or they don't at all. Not very many people feel like, oh, it's okay, I like it or whatever. You either love it or they think it's a bunch of baloney, and it's not. It works. But I always tell people you have free will. Okay, whatever you decide, you make the choices in life. This does not dictate your life. It's a roadmap. You go straight, you go left, right, you turn, or you can get off the road. And so I find that I've really helped a lot of people, which is I love getting paid. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. We all love getting paid.
Of course.
Yeah. But when I get these nice reviews or thank you notes saying you've helped me find my way, I'm feeling so much better about life, that means more than anything to me.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So, but astrology sometimes gets a bad rap.
Of course. Yeah.
Yes, and I also believe that there are some really super psychics out there. Really, I don't consider myself this real in-depth psychic. I use what I believe, like talking with you today, I know a little bit about you. Okay, I can, that you're wearing a black shirt. No, I'm kidding. Is that
how did you know?
Yes, I know. Is that people tend, when I do a live video on TikTok, 95% of the questions are, I'm a Scorpio, how do I get along with a Gemini? Or I'm a Libra, how do I get along? It's all about their sun sign. That's all they care about and it's really very small part of your reading. I was going to tell you about each one of the 12 zodiac signs that have certain characteristics about them that apply a good deal of the time. And other than that, most of it is dependent on your moon sign, your rising, and whatever. But these are the ones that people think, and they're really pretty good. So I'll start with Aries, the first sign. They are the first they like to be first at everything. They're real aggressive, they're outgoing, they'll push their way through line, whatever it is, they have to be first. Okay. Taurus people, I don't want to say they're boring. I'll get in trouble for that, but they're quiet and they're said to be stubborn. But the reality is they're really very sensible people. They're very loyal. They're very caring. And there's nothing really outlandish about them. They're just pretty even. Geminis love to do everything, and they love to and have lots of girlfriends too, or lots of boyfriends. And I'm not saying they're not loyal. I wouldn't say that for any reason, but they do love to try like all the dangerous sports. They're the ones out there bungee jumping, trying new things and whatever. Gotcha. Now, Cancer people thought to be very emotional, but what's really they're known for, they're extremely successful in business. And the women, I would meet a Cancer woman, I know that she's running her own business, whatever she's doing, she does well at, and also men too. They know how to make money. They do well. Leos are the loudmouths, but now sometimes there's quiet loudmouths, but they're always seen and heard, no matter what, whether they're quiet or whether they're vocal, but they're there. A lot of politicians, a lot of actors, whatever. Virgos are, I want to say they're well organized, but they think before they speak. They actually have good sense of humor, and they're noted to be cold and distant, but they really aren't. They just don't show their feelings. And we Libras are the best sign of the zodiac. You do know that. Yes, right. Is that we are people pleasers though. We want to be sure people are happy. And there's a lot of sensitivity, and it's hard to, sometimes we get our feelings hurt by people saying things that make us feel badly more than other signs in the zodiac. And Scorpios are said to be secretive, but really, I don't want to say they're dangerous, but they can be. No, they are very intense and they take everything seriously. You don't ever want to cross a Scorpio. Okay, just be careful. And Sagittarius, when they're not pulling their foot out of their mouth for what they're saying, they're pretty philosophical and have really good ideas, and they're pretty smart. Capricorns are the taciturn, quiet ones, and they always like to plan, no frivolous, outgoing, whatever it is. They like things planned. They like to know what's going to happen with relationships, business, and life. And the Aquarians are the brilliant of the zodiac, and they love to be out there with people, share their ideas. They love the crowds. They love to feel important by the crowds. Hard to make commitments in relationships sometimes. And the Pisces, again, they're another success-oriented sign. They're feet, and they always have feet problem. every Pisces, including my husband. I do that. He's my barometer for that. Is that they are intense in the sense that they're dreamers and they don't always like to face reality. And it's hard to get them back on track sometimes. So that's basically the 12 signs. If I were to pick out generalizing that, because even when I write on TikTok, I'll make statements about, I'll put down, the best looking women on the Zodiac or the most this or the most that. And there's always people coming back. That's not true because not everybody is going to have the same traits. And also we pick up traits from all 12 signs of the Zodiac. We're not really all one thing,
Right.
Yeah. But that's basically, those are the general rules that people seem to feel. They'll say, oh, he's an Aries, you know what they're like. Yeah. And I say, yes, I know what they're like. Yeah. So that's that. And astrology, I think I'll get sometimes from people and their chart said something bad and they're worried that their life is ruined. And that is why I said to you, it's a roadmap. It isn't the all ending, but we have to believe that we are ruled by the universe because, the moon with plants, how they affect plants and growing, and that we are affected personally by the season we're born, and that astrology is broken up into earth, air, fire, and water. So you take traits for that. And also the modalities of, whether they are mutable, fixed, or cardinal. And cardinal are Aries, Taurus, Aries, I have to go across, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. We're the starters. We start the seasons. And then the mutable signs are the ones that are more easygoing and go along with things. And then we have the fixed signs that are stubborn and hard to change their ideas. But those are general again. And so, but people place a lot of importance on the basics because we know what our sun sign is if we like astrology, because it changes it's a regular. We know that if you're born May 15th, that you're a Taurus, if you like astrology, but you won't know your moon sign because the moon changes signs. The planets, sun and moon, all go through all the planets. And Pluto takes 25 years to go from one sign to the other, and the moon takes 2.5 days. So now that I've been talking for a while, do you have any questions too? I need a break. For water, right.
No,
okay.
I've always been interested in astrology. I never quite understood how that was supposed to work. And then, I would read the paper and they say, well, Libra, something's going to happen today and blah, 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 blah. And I thought that was all there was to it. And then I met my wife that I have now, and then I hear, oh, you've got this sun sign and a moon sign and this sign and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, how do you keep up with all that? What does all that even mean? I mean, how do you determine this?
Yeah, I used to have to do charts by hand and then with the math. Oh my God. Now I go online and I put in your information and the chart comes up. So I have that ready to go. So that makes it a lot easier for me instead of having to do the math. And I'm not good at math. I probably gave people the wrong charts. Who knows, So, so your wife when's her birthday?
Her birthday is in 5 more days, August the 13th.
August. So she's a Leo. Okay.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. I guess the thing that I want to get out to people, why I really like doing these podcasts, is that I want people to know that this is just a really good way of dealing with what's going on today in one fell swoop. You don't have to go to a therapist for 80 million times, but I have your chart. So I know things about you, and then meeting the person, I can come up with some really good ideas, to build your confidence, to feel better about life, to find a better path. And so that when I do that for someone, I feel really happy. Yeah. So
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is how is all this stuff determined by the stars? And I mean, how does that work?
Okay, well, the day you were born,
Mhm.
Okay, the moment you were born, all the planets were in zodiac signs. They're not up in the sky, but you're at a special degree and a placement on the solar system. And so I take that, I look at that on the chart and I see where your moon sign is, I see where your rising sign is, and I see where all the planets are. And they all have an influence in your life, but it's up there. It's actually, this is what is up in the sky. I'm like I said, they don't have Taurus written up there and Libra and all that.
Right.
And there are placements. There's a thing called the part of fortune, which is a placement, and that is your path in life. And there's a thing called the vertex, which is fate, is your fate in life. So there's a lot of different, and to me, it's easy because I've been doing it for so many years. You know, when someone tells me to do something on the computer, if there's more than 2 steps, I can't do it. I get all, I mean, and the problems with computers is that I may read something where you'll tell me to press the red button, the black button, and my Mac doesn't have that. And or other computers are different and the instructions are often wrong.
No.
I have find that, you know, even my husband, who's an expert, has looked up things and it'll tell him to do certain things. It doesn't work because I think every mechanism of the computers are totally different, or they change, or they work one day and not the next day.
Mm.
This is work. This is it. Okay,
Yeah.
this is your chart. This is your reading. This is who you are. And like I said, you have free will. You can make your own decisions in life, and you can defy anything you want on here. And a lot of astrologers feel there's a death place. There's a death thing that shows up on everybody's chart every 2 years. So you're not going to die every 2 years. And I don't believe in it. I don't believe in talking about health. I don't feel like I am doctor or God or any of the above.
Right.
So I just basically said, this a certain way. And I can tell sometimes when people have trouble eating, losing weight, you know, there are some things on there that show that people, certain signs. Libras are generally round. You know, they're not, yeah, but that's what was. And I am very thin, but I can be round too if I eat a little bit too much or whatever. And there are signs like Geminis. Most Geminis are very thin. They're very slender, you know, but that's not even 100%. Nothing's 100%.
True.
And nothing is cast in stone. And yet it's a wonderful guidance tool. And maybe it's because I do have psychic ability and I do have empathic nature that I can take a chart and make it fit the person and work in their lives.
So are you just strictly an empath when it comes to abilities, or can you like see the entities? Can you hear them?
You know, it's more like if I'm talking to someone on the phone
Mhm.
and they'll tell me about their loser boyfriends. They get a lot of that, their loser boyfriends. I can tell by their voice
Mhm.
what's going on with the relationship, what the guy is doing, and what's happening. I just know. And I don't know that you call that psychic. And I will tell them sometimes that this is going to work out for them and this is going to happen. And so far, no one's complained. I get a feeling. I'm very careful never to say he's gone forever. I can't say that because I don't know that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I try to steer them when one of them is just had an abortion from her boyfriend who's in prison for first-degree murder. Like that, I think you made the right decision, and I hope you go on with your life. And her question to me was, is he thinking about me? That's all that mattered. Was he thinking about her? I thought, I don't know if I'd be worrying about a killer thinking about me, but I have to treat every story that's important to them. Do you know what I mean? With sympathy and understanding, because this is a person that she cares about, regardless of what I think, you know? So I have to think very fast on my feet when I get a call, because people sometimes will say, what's going on in my life? And I said, I can't tell you until you tell me what it is that you're concerned about. I can't just say, oh, I hear a voice, like I know for you, Kyle, okay. Oh, Kyle, you're going out to dinner tonight, and tomorrow, be careful walking the street because someone's going to mug you. I mean, you know, I don't see that. I do get bad feelings sometimes, and I do get very good feelings sometimes.
Well, I
And
hope you're getting a good feeling talking to me.
Well, yeah, well, Kyle, you're a Libra, my God, and you're easy to talk to. And I've done so much speaking about astrology that I
Mhm.
have to be careful. I get kind of wound up a little bit, keep going. So you can slow me down anytime you want.
Oh no, I enjoy listening to all this stuff. I'm generally genuinely curious about these things, and I just don't understand how the stars being here compared to being over here makes a difference in somebody's day. You know what I
It
mean?
does. So let me explain one thing to you, if that's interest. I'm a Reiki master. Are you familiar with Reiki?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay. And I can do, right now, if we're sitting here, I can do a treatment on you.
Oh, really?
I can do a treatment if I don't have to call you, I could call you on the phone and say, Kyle, I'm going to do a treatment on you to help you with your back. So we don't have to talk. We don't have to do that. I just know where you live. And you will actually sometimes you'll feel me working on you and you'll feel better afterwards. So go explain that.
I want.
Yeah, you can, I can't explain that.
Yeah.
I just know that um, the signs have their special characteristics, like I said, and I know that I am very much my chart, and I really occasionally I will find a chart that doesn't read. I have a feeling I either got the wrong birth time or maybe they lied about their age. Someone did lie about their age to me. Like, what, you can lie to your astrologer about your age?
Yeah. Why?
I did,
If you really want accurate information, why would you lie?
I know it's crazy, but people, people are nuts sometimes. We do know that.
That I do know.
Yes, we do. We know they're nuts, right?
We do know
So,
that.
yeah. So I'm in my life, I've had about 50 or 60 different businesses and jobs. So I've run the gamut, but always astrology was always there. There's just been times when I've had to go to work, I've been in a new place or whatever. And I I just find it works. And I can't always explain, except by looking here and I'll see something that I know is going to work. And um, to my knowledge, and I've been doing this for 30 years. And now I've had a few people on the psychic hotline give me a bad review because I told them the truth.
My
Yeah.
God,
Oh, yeah. They didn't like it.
that's
What
ridiculous.
woman? You told me I had a bad outcome, and I didn't. I really didn't. I just said that things are going to be slow for a while, and we have to wait and see what happens.
Mhm.
But when I don't ever remember doing an astrology reading where somebody said to me, that didn't work. I didn't like it. I don't remember it
Hmm.
because it seems to always fit and it seems to really work well. Like, it's too bad you didn't give me your birth information today. We could have planned. I could have done a little reading on you.
All I could tell you is my
Moon sign.
birthday, and I don't know what time of day it was. I even asked my mother, "Do you remember what time of day it was?" And she couldn't remember if it was day or night.
Yeah.
I'm
you know
that forgettable.
you know what your do you know what your moon sign is? If your wife is interested in astrology?
I guess I've never really asked her.
Oh, see, well, now you're going to ask her because, okay, let me just explain one thing. You got a
Uh-huh.
sun, moon, and rising sign. Okay,
Uh-huh.
those are the three power points of the chart.
Right.
Your sun sign is your basic personality, your inner drive, your core personality. Your moon sign is your emotional personality, who you're attracted to, who you like, how you respond in emotional situations, and it's even your food preferences. Then we have your rising sign, and your rising sign is the way the world sees you, your demeanor, your looks, however. And it may be totally different than your sun sign because who you are and what you appear. So it's like your id, ego, super ego, who you are, what you feel, and what you show. And all the planets have meanings too, like Mercury is how you think, how you reason. Mars is your mental, physical, emotional energy. Venus is your love nature, how you respond in love situations. See, every one of these planets has something to do. And I use two planets for determining your trends for the year, which are Saturn and Jupiter. And because Saturn stays in one sign 3 years, like the sun stays in the sign for 30 days, this
Uh-huh.
stays for 3 years. Jupiter stays in a sign for 1 year. So I can get a good feeling what's going on for the few years in your life.
Oh, wow.
It's where these planets are. Sometimes they're in different signs, in your different houses. I know that's all a bunch of gobbledygook to you. I do. But trust me, it works. It does. And
So, well, if I don't know my time of day that I was born, that
I can
throws
still do a
everything off.
chart.
Can you?
I do a chart without a rising sign. I do still do it with your sun and moon sign because that's I'm gonna know what that is. Yeah, and I've done a lot of they're called solar charts. I prefer to have the birth time because I can tell more and everything.
Right.
So, um, I always laugh. There's a lot of would-be astrologers out there and a lot of astrologers, and they talk so technical and they get all. One of them say, "Oh my God, you know what's going on up there today? Uranus is conjunct Neptune. What's going to happen to me?" And they get so worked up that something does happen to them. See, I don't believe that. I think, yeah, it's going to affect you. Everything affects us, but you are who you are, and you're not going to. They'll say, "I'm going through a bad, horrible week because of this," and I thought, "No, you're going through a bad week because you're not doing anything and you're lazy." I never said that. But I don't like to put so much importance on what's going on up there to totally change the way we feel and how we live our lives.
Mm.
And another thing I do when I do a chart, you know what manifesting is?
Yes.
Okay, I believe in manifesting, and I will put together a personal manifestation for that person. I do that for my calls. When people call me and they're upset, I give them a verbal manifestation and tell them to write it and to say it to themselves every day, and so that they can improve their feelings or their relationships in life. Yeah, so I like to end that sort of like on a spiritual note, and I think these kids today, I'm telling you, they are looking for answers so desperately. I mean, I feel their desperation when they write me. What am I going to do with my life? My career is not going well. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling that the economy, everything's bad. I mean, they're scared. They are very, very scared.
Yeah, I can
And
only imagine.
yeah, and it's tough being a young person today. They're just aware enough that their lives are changing before their eyes. We were born, or you're born during the middle of a certain time in life. But when you see your life go from this to this, where you're actually seeing the changes, and we are seeing changes, with the inflation and with the rising prices and with all the, I don't want to get political here, but with all the border people and the drugs coming over, and I mean, we have a lot of problems today.
Yes, we do.
And the people are dying because of it. And so I think that they're scared, and some of them are lazy. They don't want to work, or some of them want to go to the top of the corporation before they're 18 years old.
Yeah, before they even have learned the first thing in the company, they want to be running it.
They want to be running it. They do, or they don't want to work at all.
Well,
There's
I think a lot of the problems with the kids nowadays, they feel so pressured to fit in and to do like everybody else is doing, and I think a lot of them have forgotten themselves. They don't know who they are anymore because they're trying to please everybody on social media and they can't be themselves.
Do you think can I mention the word transgender, or should I not mention it?
That's fine as long as we don't get too in depth into it.
No,
I
I
don't see any
just want to
problem with
make
it.
one comment about it. I believe that this transgenderism is a lot for kids that feel lost, and when they can be different, then they have a whole group now of friends that are like them, so they have this like purpose, because they've done studies on it that 80% of them really are not.
I can imagine.
I know I wasn't going to get, but I wanted to mention that when you mentioned about how they feel today, this is something they're doing to stay cohesive with their friends and their group by being
Exactly.
different.
Exactly.
I see it. I see my friends with their kids, their grandkids. They're all changing over because they want to feel like part of the gang and part of the society. And it's become very popularized with a lot of there is basis, of course. We know there is some, but not as much as out there.
Well,
And of course, a lot of this thing was taboo. 20 years ago was taboo to talk about this stuff. You were who you were, and you fought it, and you didn't talk about it. Today it's more open, which is a good
I mean,
thing.
it's good to be open about that kind of stuff, but when you're doing it as a fad, to be part of the group, that's where it's harmful.
It is. It
You
is.
think
I'm concerned about that.
think
And
about you put a group of people in the same room and you tell them that you've got two opposing views and there's only one that could be right. So if you guess the right one and you tell the others, then you win a prize. Okay.
exactly.
And you
Yes.
do that, and then you're afraid to say anything because you don't want to be the one that's the wrong side. And
Right.
that's the way we're living our lives nowadays.
Right. When you're an adult, adults tend to want to be different, wear different clothes and be different. But the younger kids, even though they're wearing wild clothes, they're all doing it. They all want to still be part of that, about that group. Yeah. And they feel, particularly the ones that don't have the confidence in themselves. And there's a lot because of the way their parents bringing them up. Their parents are working. There's a lot of struggle in the world. There's nobody bad. It's not about being bad or good. It's just tough to grow up today. When I grew up, it was easy. I had an easy childhood. I had a wonderful childhood. I didn't worry about anything like this. Life was simple, and it's becoming more and more complex and scary. So when I do get people, I haven't had anybody whose chart that I know of. They haven't told me they're transgender. I have had some on my Everclear phone calls where they'll tell me how they feel about it. And so I listen to them and understand how they feel because I have to. And I do, because not everybody's going to be like me or you, perfect like that we are, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way.
It is. I have a really tough time with it all the time. Well, today too in the world is one of the things I notice in the world today. We all know it. There's way too many decisions to make. There's too many choices. If you buy a car, if you go down the cereal line, used to be 5 cereals. Now there's 105.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are watching TV, we say there's nothing to watch. There's only 5,000 shows. That there's nothing to watch. You know that. But if you have 10 shows to watch, you always have something to watch. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we have too many choices in clothes and online. If you're an artist, okay, I'm an artist too. And if you go online and everybody gets to show their work on, there's no more artists today than there was 30 years ago, but everybody is on that computer. You see everybody's art. You can't compete with that. Just that there are Etsy, the store Etsy has 7 million vendors.
Wow.
Yeah,
7 million?
that's what I meant. Everything is so huge today.
That's crazy.
I used to be a marketing genius before the internet. I had a best-selling book. I just wrote letters and I actually got a best-selling book from it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And today everybody writes books. Nobody cares what your book's about. Big deal. Unless you are a movie star, celebrity, or a total expert on a subject, like a doctor of some sort. But just writing books today, you're not going to sell any. You'll sell a few here or there. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas when I wrote my book, I was the first one on the topic. So everybody wanted the book. Yeah, it was on gift baskets, by the way. I had a gift basket business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was 90s. It was the hottest business out there. Everybody wanted to be in it. And so everybody bought my book. It helped a lot of people set up their little businesses and everything. So you have to be the first one, like Tony Robbins is a good example. He was among the first in his way he directed his positive thinking in a totally different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Now you've got about 1 million of them you can look to on the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. He's giving stuff away free now. He has a free class. Never. I had a friend who worked for him, and if they sell the digital class for like $20,000-$30,000. Today, you can't give anything away. Don't you think that used to be that if you offered something free online, that was a success? And now people are irritated and don't trust you.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing to get over too.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the world we live in too. Every day I get somebody that sends me a message on my phone, and they'll say, "Hey, so and so, it was great talking to you the other night or whatever." And I'm like, "I'm not so and so," and they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, it's okay." And then they'll send me a message back saying, "Well, you sound like a really nice person. I think we should get to know each other." And I'm like, "You
Oh,
don't know
wow.
me." So I usually block the number, but it gets so aggravating because it happens at least once a day. Or I get somebody sending me a message,
Oh, yeah,
click
messages.
this link, and I'm not clicking the link on something I don't know.
Right. And then everyone's offering $1 million deal, right? Everybody's
Hmm.
got, they're going to make you famous. You're going to take their course. You're going to make $1 million. There are so many promises out there. And I have a promise too. I do have a promise. I promise I'm going to really work hard at trying to help people. That's my promise. And I can't say I can do it all the time, but I genuinely care about that person I'm talking to on the phone or I'm doing their chart for, because if you can help one person at a time, that's a lot.
I
Yeah.
always said if my show could help at least one person out there, because I have a positivity show, if we can at least help one person out there, we've done our job.
Exactly. Because you've made somebody feel better and have a
Hmm.
better attitude about life. And like I said, there's just so many unhappy people, excuse me, walking around, and I feel badly about it. But, we all have our bad days and we all have our down
Yes, we do.
times for sure. But we pick ourselves up and go on and figure out a better way to do something. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And that's something I try to talk to people about when I do their readings for them. And that's what astrology can do if you present it right to them, because if they're asking to have a chart done, they believe in astrology. So I do have that advantage. And then I have to make them see that what's good on their chart is going to be positive in their lifetime and not negative.
And definitely need more positivity in this world.
We do, we do, we do.
What happened to the days of, it's almost like it was a pride thing to know that you could help somebody. And now
Yeah,
it's all about, if you're paying attention to social media stuff, it's all me, look at me. Things
yes, I
about
get.
me.
My calls are always talking about. He talked about me on his social media. I thought, or he blocked me, and he means he doesn't love me anymore. I said, no, it means he does love you. He's just trying to show you that he's stronger than you are. And if they block you or they put you back on, or someone found a girl he was kissing on that he put on there and he's engaged to her, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about it. And like I said, I always tell people to be cautious in their relationships. And I've often said, do you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody who does that to you? They want these guys back so badly. I said, he's been unfaithful to you and cheated on you. I said, it's probably going to happen again. Are you okay with that?
It drives me nuts are those ones that are always saying, you're cheating on me, you're cheating on me. And then you find out later on they've been cheating on you the whole time.
Yeah. And they're just and sometimes I feel like I know that they are, and they just want me to tell them that they're not. And I said, this is something that instinctively more than I do.
Mhm.
And that's the truth. Um, one gal, I just have to tell you this. She had God wasn't living with her, but she had a baby by him. But that's not the unusual part. Two other women had a baby by him. So he has to go keep seeing all three kids and the wives and support them, I guess. I thought, how could people do that? I think, oh my God, but this is their life and they're
Almost
happy.
bet.
I said,
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, I bet you anything he's not even supporting them.
Oh, no, no. She said that he wasn't acting very nice for a while. And I said, but she said, he's acting really good now and things are good. I said, then appreciate that. Yeah, what can I do? I think I would have a tough time with that, but not everybody does. There is a whole world out there that thinks totally different. I mean, you're married. I'm probably your second wife.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is my second one.
Yeah. And you've been together?
We've been together for 8 years now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And sometimes it isn't that you make a better choice necessarily. You're just in a better place sometimes. And you're just more tolerant. Not always. I'm just saying sometimes that, when you're first married, there's a whole different expectation. And the second time you relax a little bit, go along with stuff, and you're both better people for it.
We're definitely that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think you have a good marriage.
Oh yeah, have a
Yeah.
great marriage. You
Yeah.
know, we both agree, how I'm always right and everything's
She's
perfect.
never right. Yeah. Yeah. I know. When you're right, that happens in my family too. How about that? Do you think it's because we're Libras?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. He does. But actually, my husband does everything for me. He does. He does everything for me. If I can't fix the TV or whatever it is, and he's always there for me. And that's I think that is probably the key thing is that person is nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're nice and that they have your back. They're there for you.
I can say this, that my wife is always there for me. She helps me with so much. I mean, I have a disability, so I can't even work anymore. And so she has to do a lot for me. And I've told her time and time again, I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to leave, because, I already feel guilty that she does most everything for me. But she's like, I've told you I wanted to be with you, whether you were, healthy or if you were sick. And
Yeah.
she's meant it. She's always there for me.
Yeah. So you can't beat that, can you?
No, you can't.
It's appreciated, but she wants to do it for you because she loves you.
Exactly.
And you have to accept the fact that sometimes it's hard to accept things like that, and I know when I had some surgery recently, my husband was there just doing everything for everything, helping me out no matter what, wouldn't let me do anything at all. And now that I'm better, he's knocking me around and pushing me around and throwing me against the wall, but that's okay. Yeah. So you have a happy life, and that whatever the life is, whatever your path is, and I always tell people, it doesn't matter what your path is, whether you are a janitor or whether you are president of the United States or whether you are whatever it is you do. If your path is that and you are happy in your path, you're ahead of all the rich and wonderful people because you're happy. And I always say money does not buy love, but it does buy a lot of romance and a lot of good things. Yeah.
Get you plenty of dates, right? How funny.
Yeah.
And you have a website, right?
Well, I don't really have a website anymore because I am on this Everclear.com, and I'm also on Thrills in the UK, and I'm also there's a messaging service, celebrity messaging service called Cameo.
Oh,
and they asked me on there. I'm on Cameo, and I've got to do a little fixing up with it and get working on that because I'm in good company on there. A lot of good big stars are on there and everything. It's kind of fun. And then I also belong to a company that is a subscription. I don't know how that's going to be going. I joined it with a nice guy, so I joined it. And it's really a good idea if he was marketing it a lot. People pay a certain amount of money a month, very little, and I answer all their questions all month long. It's a good deal. So, and then of course the people can find me on TikTok. I'm Starr4. ASTROSTARR with the number 4 after it.
Astrostar.
Yeah. And do people ever call and want to know how to reach people on your show?
Well, what I usually do is I put all the links in the description so people can click on it and go straight to it. It makes it convenient for them.
Okay, should I send them to you?
If that would be wonderful. Everything that
yeah.
you'd like me to post, please send it to me.
No, I will, because I do want to get the word out. I'm here. I mean, I love to talk to you, and maybe someday you'll invite me back to talk about some other stuff. And it's been really fun. But I'm here to obviously to get my name out, and so I can help more people and get rich. No, I'm kidding. I'll never get rich at this. And
Never say never.
No, never. I should know better. Oh, that's manifesting wrong. I do like to get paid, but one of the reasons I like to get paid, it's sort of an honor that people are paying because they trust you and your advice is good. I like that.
That is definitely a sign of trust when somebody's willing
Yeah,
to pay you for
yeah,
your
yeah.
services.
And I found that doing free charts or free stuff does not work. You don't get the same respect.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've done a lot of freebie stuff and I always sort of think, I don't think I want to do that again. People don't appreciate it and they think that you're not really serious about what you do.
I think it also depends on what is the platform that you're using. A buddy of mine, he's an architect, and there was some site that's what people did. They offered up whatever services for free, and so he got on there and he said, "I will make your plans for your home or business or whatever. I'll do it for nothing." And he put it up there. Somebody answered and said, "Yes, I would love for you to do this for me." And so he did. And I'm like, dude, that's a lot of money because architects make
Well,
big time
yeah,
money.
yeah.
And he said, yes, but get this. After I did that, they were so appreciative. They passed my name on to somebody else. And he ended up getting $1 million-something deal out of it, all because he did something for free. So I guess it really depends on where are you
What
launching
you're
that
doing.
from.
Okay, he's doing
Yeah.
something, I don't want to say legitimate. I'm going to say he's doing something very viable. He's doing something special. I'm doing something that's little off the beaten path. And so people don't want to believe this about themselves or think it's right, but when they pay for it, they believe me. And that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No, if I were
understand.
offering a free, I've given away free books that I've written a few books here and there. And um, I think people appreciate it, but I think they still appreciate better when they go and pay for them. But in this case, that's a real, I mean, that is a real exception to the rule, I think. Yeah.
So I think that's because the site was designed for that. I think that's why it worked out so well. But he's
Yeah.
always telling me, hey, if you want to be successful, you got to be able to give some of this away for nothing. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So anyway, so I'll email you back on and give you my links. That I really appreciate that a lot.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything you want to share, and it could be, 2 years from now. If you had something you wanted to share, you said, "Hey, can I share this with you, or can you share this out?" You send it to me, and I'll be glad to do it.
Yeah, well, that's so nice. How long have you been doing this?
I've been podcasting for about 5 years,
Oh, really? Okay.
and this show I've been doing for 5 years. I have another show that I do that's nothing but positivity stuff, and that I've been
Yeah.
doing for over 2 years now.
Well, podcasting has become a hot business. I seems to me the last 5 years, there are so many more podcasts out there. It's like a radio show. It is a radio show. And
Yeah,
I think that it's become really, I mean, it is hot business. Yeah. And I think that people are looking, again, they are looking for answers and for ideas and turn on podcasts and you get to see all that you want to see. Yeah. So,
that's true.
yeah.
And there are those that are legitimately looking for something, and then there are those that they're just on it to watch the videos that are gossip, and
Yeah.
it's
There's a podcast for every cause, huh?
exactly,
Yeah.
because you'll find the stuff that I do that's in the positivity part of it doesn't get as much attention as, say, a paranormal show would do, or if I was to do celebrity gossip or whatever.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah. So people
Mm,
always like the bizarre and the different and
mm.
whatever. And I mean, that's understandable. Yeah. But for people that it's all going to rub off though. I mean, eventually they're going to come across, and I think it's great. I do. And I think you're really good at what you do.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Of course, it does mean that you're a Libra, so you can't do any wrong in my eyes.
I love it. I love
Uh,
it. Well, I will say this. You are more than welcome to come back anytime. And I hope that we can stay in touch, because I like your energy.
Oh, well, thanks. I think it would be fun, Kyle, that let me do a chart on you or your
Sure.
wife or something. Yes, and we'll keep it, above board. No, but I would love to because I think it's fun. And what what better thing could you ask for than to talk about what you love?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Very
And
true.
I tried, and I do, when you talk about positivity, I my charts are 100% positive. I mean, I don't lie, I don't promise anything, but I take the chart and read it so that it works. And they all work. We are human beings and none of us are born bad or have terrible charts that can't overcome whatever. I mean, there are things on there that might be show some challenges, but really we have this ability, all of us, to
Yes.
overcome and not blame everybody. There's people, they're blamers, that they blame every problem in their life on something or somebody. But the reality is we are in charge. And I know I grew up with a mother who blamed everything on, no matter what happened, on something else. So I've gone the complete opposite direction and take too much responsibility sometimes. That is
Yeah.
important. I'd love to come back someday. That is wonderful. And we'll stay in touch because I like you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to email you, and I appreciate anything you do. It's just great, but it's been super. I mean, we've been talking an hour, so we've done well.
Thank you, Carol, for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm happy to. Anytime you want me, just drop me a line and we'll come up with some new ideas, or I can talk about some of the people who call. They're nameless anyway. There's no connection to them, but some of the stories are very interesting. Trust me.
I also want to thank everyone out there. If you are new to the channel, I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you'll please come back. For those of you who are regular, well, thank you so much for your support. It's because of you that I get to do this. So anyone out there, please subscribe if you haven't already. So until the next one, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.
Poor boy.